Hi guys, welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm making pork tenderloin with a raspberry sauce in a Ninja Combi. Alright, I'm starting out here with a disposable plate. We're going to make the dry rub on our pork tenderloin. And I'm going to use 1.5 teaspoons of each one of these. I'm going to use 1.5 teaspoons of garlic powder, and I'm just eyeballing this. I'm going to use 1.5 teaspoons of paprika. I'm going to use 1.5 teaspoons of cumin. And it's going to give our pork loin a really good flavor. 1.5 teaspoons of dry thyme. And lastly, 1.5 teaspoons of ground mustard. Now this is a new container, so I could open this up. Alright, and I'm going to go ahead and mix them all together. Guys, I forgot, but I also had 1.5 teaspoons of salt and pepper into that dry rub. Now I'm going to go ahead and get this on I have 2 pork tenderloins here. I'm going to sprinkle some of this on here, and we're going to rub this in. And after I get this all rubbed in, I'm going to let these set aside just for now while I get the Combi going. So I'm just going to go ahead and rub this all in on both sides of the pork tenderloin. Alright, now in my Ninja Combi, I have it set on sear saute and the pan's hot. I'm going to pull this out a little bit. And I'm going to get some olive oil in there. We're going to brown these pork loins up. We're not going to cook them through, we're just going to brown them at this point. So I'm going to get them in here and get them good and brown on both sides. Right now that my pork tenderloins are nice and brown, I added in 1/2 cup of water in the pan with them. And I have some baby potatoes here. We're going to make baby garlic smashed potatoes to go with this. I'm going to close my door. I'm going to move my switch from air fry to Combi cooker. Alright, I'm going to turn this on. We're set at Combi meals. I'm going to turn my temperature up. We're going up to 450. And I'm going to set my time for 20 minutes. Alright, while my pork loins and potatoes cook, in a small saucepan, I have 12 ounces of frozen raspberries that I thawed out and I pureed in a food processor. So that I'm going to add in 3 teaspoons of sugar, and I'm just eyeballing that. 1.5 teaspoons of Dijon mustard. And 4 teaspoons of balsamic vinegar. And I'm just going to eyeball that. That's about right. I'm going to stir that all together, and I'm going to allow this to simmer until it heats through and those flavors blend good. Alright, my pork tenderloins are done. I checked it with the meat thermometer. They're at 160. I'm going to tent them and let them rest for a few minutes while I finish up the garlic smashed potatoes. That'll bring up to 165. And then we'll go ahead and fix up a plate and see what we got. I just went ahead and made those baby garlic smashed potatoes and some buttered corn. Let me get in here and try this pork loin with that raspberry sauce. Pork is tender, moist, well seasoned. That sauce isn't sweet. It's a mixture between sweet and sour from the vinegar, but it's really delicious. Pork tenderloin with raspberry sauce. Thanks for watching and supporting me. Remember, love what you eat and eat what you love.